Hey, what's going on everyone? How you guys doing today? Welcome back to another YouTube video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the top most popular Onslaught weapons that people are using to get that level 50 completion. If you are still looking for that level 50 completion to get that emblem, this might be the weapons you want to take a look at. It's a big list of weapons, but today we're just going to be taking a look at the top 10. If you guys are thinking a certain weapon's going to be in here, right now make sure you go to the comments below and put it down there, and afterwards you're going to see if you were right or not. Also, while you're down there, make sure to leave me a comment and a like. Helps the channel out, and it's just something nice to do. But without wasting more time, let's get into it, and let's start off with number 10. At number 10, we have the Galah Horn. And I'm not really surprised to see the Galah Horn here. It is great for ad clear, it can deal with some bigger enemies, and it can hold 2 rockets. So it's a very good and solid weapon for Onslaught, especially for those teams that are running those Cenotaph Warlocks. Making all that heavy, just spamming galleys and going through waves without really too much effort. I think that's why we're seeing so much galley. Because of those Cenotaph Warlock teams just spamming galley all the way to the end. And you know, I can't blame them, it works. If it works, it works. And galley spam is something that definitely works. Next up at number 9, we have a fairly new weapon. We have the Scatter Signal Fusion Rifle. This fusion is a beast. If you guys haven't crafted this thing has some fantastic perks, including Control Burst, which is like the main fusion rifle perk for PvE. It is strand, so it takes advantage of all the strand mods this season. And lastly, it's a craftable weapon, so it's very accessible, and getting the God Roll on it is pretty easy. You can just craft your God Roll. I just love my Scatter Signal. Whenever I have like an open kinetic slot where I don't really have like a special weapon, a Scatter Signal is usually my go-to. That Control Burst Overflow roll is just so good. You get so many shots in the mag, so you can really take advantage of that Control Burst. So Scatter Signal, an amazing fusion rifle, and like I said, it takes advantage of this season's strand mods, so it makes it even better. At number 8, we have the exotic machine gun, the Thunderlord. And if you think about it, Onslaught's kind of like the perfect place for the Thunderlord. Not only do you have ad clear with those lightning strikes every time you get a find a blow, but you also have some pretty good damage, again, thanks to those lightning strikes, for doing like sustained damage to the target. Plus, on top of everything, the Thunderlord also comes with built-in overload. So not only do you have something that's good for DPS, good for dealing with ads, but even something that could deal with champions, and if you have the Catalyst, a weapon that auto-reloads itself. So the Thunderlord has a lot of good things going for it in Onslaught, and I kind of see why people are using it a lot. It's also part of the gift of Thunderlords that's in the Hall of Heroes, so it's probably helping it see some play as well, on top of it being a fantastic Onslaught weapon. At number 7, we continue with the heavy weapons, because we have another heavy machine gun, the Commemoration, the Void machine gun from the Deep Stone Crypt. This machine gun is pretty much here because it's just an ad killing machine. Especially with perks like Deconstruction, Dragonfly, Kill and Tally. So this machine gun is pretty much just by itself going to be taking care of all your ad clear needs. And since it's a legendary, you still have your exotic slot open for whatever else you want to run in your exotic slot. The Commemoration's been a fantastic LMG ever since it got released Beyond Light, and they got even better once it became craftable. So next up at number 6, we're actually taking a break from the heavy weapons and going to a primary weapon, a hand cannon, and is the Sauli's Bane. So the very first thing about the Sauli's Bane that you're gonna notice is that it's a solar hand cannon, meaning that it takes advantage of all the solar mods this season. And those solar mods, I think, are the reason that we've been seeing this hand cannon a whole lot this season. It just works so well with those mods. And itself, the hand cannon itself has some pretty good perks. Not only that synergize with those mods, like Incandescent, but just good perks in general. Like you can get Incandescent with Explosive Rounds, which I think is the role that you see the most often. Every time I see somebody with a Sauli's Bane, 90% of the time they have Explosive plus Incandescent. So if you're using a legendary hand cannon and you have the Sauli's Bane available, there's not really a reason to use any other one. It's just pretty much the best legendary hand cannon to use this season. just because of the synergy it's got with those mods. And the great thing about it is that since it's a raid weapon, it is craftable, so you can get that God roll, incandescent, explosive rounds roll, as long as you're able to craft it. Next up at number 5, we have the Riptide. This is the rapid fire frame stasis fusion rifle that you can get from Shaxx or the Crucible, and this thing is a beast because of just one singular perk, and that is Chill Clip. Without Chill Clip, this weapon wouldn't be as good as it is, but thanks to it rolling Chill Clip, it just does so much. You're able to deal with champions by being able to stun both overloads and unstoppables. But that's not the only thing that it does. It can also add some extra damage thanks to the shadow damage that it does after you freeze a target, and it can also help you deal with groups of ads, because whenever you hit something with the Chill Clip, it doesn't just hit the one thing that you're hitting. It actually has kind of like an AoE effect where it hits multiple things around it. It's not a big AoE area where the Chill Clip affects it, but it's big enough that if there's a bunch of ads around, you're going to be able to hit multiple of them, just slow them, and once they're slowed, they're just a lot easier to kill. It's just a little more extra crowd control that you can have just by shooting the weapon. You don't really have to do anything special. As long as you're shooting it with the top half of the magazine, you're gonna have Chill Clip active, and that's what makes it so amazing. It's pretty much allowed this fusion rifle to just kind of be like the top legendary fusion rifle for a while. As long as there's no other Chill Clip fusions, this thing's gonna stay at the top. Next up, we're going back to the heavy weapons because we have an exotic, the Dragon Spread. The Dragon Spread in Onslaught is great, not only because it can deal with big enemies, but it can also use block off entire areas of the map, being able to deal with ads for a pretty long time. It's fantastic, especially when you're dealing with some bigger enemies. If you shoot them with Dragon Spread, the AoE effect might actually kill not only the big enemy, but just all the ads around it. So Dragon Spread is a fantastic weapon. Definitely can see why this thing is up here, and a lot of people are using it. Now next up at number 3, we have another heavy weapon, and it's the Apex Pror. And at first I was thinking really the Apex, but the more I thought about it, the more it makes sense. Sure, the Apex is mostly known for like its amazing boss DPS, so you'll be able to deal with the big guys very easily with it. But since there's so much heavy in Onslaught, just with the heavy crates, all the ads that you're killing, means that you can also use fire off the thing. Like very consistently. You can deal with entire waves of ads very easily, so I can see why people are using the Apex. Using it kind of like in a way that people are using the Galah Horn, clearing ads with it, and whenever a big enemy shows up, they can also just DPS them with the best rocket launcher in the game. Next up at number 2 is one of my favorite weapons to come out recently, and it's the Embedded Kindness. Now this sidearm, I'm surprised that is this high up, but I'm kind of glad that people are finally like really taking notice of the sidearm, because this thing's been amazing the whole season. And there's many reasons why this sidearm is amazing. The first one is that it carries just a ton of ammo, you can use it a lot. It also has some really good perks. It's got things like Lead from Gold, if you want even more ammo. It's got Bolt Shot, if you want some extra ad clear. It also is very good at doing single target damage. You'll be surprised the amount of like damage you can put out with the sidearm. And lastly, I think it's because of the trick sleeves, the Hunter Gauntlets that increase your sidearm damage. It's something that you can proc on demand with this sidearm, and you also can do some crazy damage thanks to a glitch that's happening, where instead of just giving you 100% more damage, you end up getting like 200% more damage. It is insane the amount of damage you can put out. If you want to look at that glitch for the sidearms, I'm sure you can just type it into YouTube and find it. But even without that, I still think this sidearm is fantastic. Does a lot of damage, carries a lot of ammo, and that's just perfect for this mode. And now let's take a look at number 1. And the number 1 spot goes to the Sunshot, to the surprise of nobody. This weapon has been basically the top weapon ever since like the season started. and people started getting their hands on the solar mods, the artifact was pretty much made for Sunshot, or at least that's what it feels like. With Sunshot, you're pretty much going to have unlimited Radiant, double the ad clear. The Sunshot itself already has some pretty good ad clear with its exotic perk, but you have some ignitions on top of that, so you get even more ad clear. And since it's an exotic weapon, it also does extra damage against red bars, meaning that it's even better at more ad clear. It is ad clear, the weapon. If you guys haven't used the Sunshot yet this season, then what are you waiting for? The season is almost over. Please give it a try before the season is up. This thing is just insane. It's been insane for the last couple of months. And you can pretty much hold back entire waves by yourself with a Sunshot and some Radiant. Which is also very easy to get, since all you need is a couple of headshots with the Sunshot and you just become Radiant. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that nobody was surprised by that one. I definitely wasn't surprised when I ended up seeing the Sunshot up here. But with that, we're going to end today's video. Appreciate everyone stopping by. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Dislike if you didn't. Subscribe to the channel in case you guys haven't already. Tell me down in the comments below. Is this the list that you expected? Are these the weapons that you expected people to be using? Or were there a couple of surprises in here? And I'd like to give a shout out to Cbro on the Eds for compiling some of the information we used in this video to, kind of see what people are using in Onslaught. So big shout out to him. He's the one that's been doing that. So this video wouldn't really be possible without him. But anyways, thanks again. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.